What's up, everybody? It's Brandon with Cult Flick Symposium and Box Office Banter. Guys, this may have been, now it's kind of bad. Don't really remember my list, but this may have been my most anticipated movie of the year. I was thinking about that going in. I don't see how it couldn't be because I'm a massive Rocky fan. I know the shirt doesn't necessarily prove it. I mean, we all got apparel, right? But if you know me, I absolutely love the Rocky movies, and naturally, Creed is within the Rocky franchise. And this is going to be the first one without Rocky in it. Now, as far as my history with this franchise goes, I love the first one, love the second one, love the third one, love the fourth one, even love the fifth one, love the comeback in the sixth one. Creed, when that was coming out, I didn't really know how to feel about it, but guess what? I still loved it. And then the last one, the previous installment before this, Creed 2, Rocky 7, maybe, if you will. It or Rocky, it would be Rocky 8. Let's not even do that. Creed 2. Creed 2 was good. Didn't love it. Didn't really care. I understand what they were doing with Drago, but it didn't really work for me because I want to hate Ivan Drago. So there was things, personal preferences that laid that one off a little bit for me. But yet and still, this is like a perfect franchise outside of that one movie, and that's still a really fucking good movie to me. But now we're gonna be without Rock. No Rocky. Don't know how I feel about that. I get it. I really do. I'm kind of, I'm being fucking, I'm being so selfish is what I'm doing. Like, I want Rocky that bad because I'm in love with the character of Rocky, but I get why they're taking him out of the movie. He's now with his son. His storyline's over. We can really focus and just bring to the main frame everything that is Michael B. Jordan in this Adonis Creed character. But how will that go? And now he's directing? Well, guys, I'm here to tell you, I actually loved it. We were back on the loved it train, and I didn't know if I would. I was really worried that I had no doubts it would be, I didn't think for a second it would be a bad movie. But I was worried that my favorite franchise, like the first six were so great, that this one would again be just, good, which is good. Like, you see a good movie, you're happy, right? But like with this one, particular franchise, I need it to be great. Every movie needs to be great because that's all I've had my whole life. So I was very pleased to walk away from this, surprisingly loving it a lot. This movie packs a punch, no pun intended. I think this is Michael B. Jordan's best acting, probably out of all three Creed movies. I don't know if maybe that's where now he's in the director's chair. I know with Ryan Coogler, I mean, those guys are like this. If you haven't seen Fruitvale Station, he's definitely been able to, power out performances from him. And not that he did bad in the first two Creed movies, but this one, I don't know if it's because he was directing himself. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. It seemed like he was more honed into the role. Like, he was just like, it almost felt like Michael B. Jordan knew exactly what he wanted to do. Like, he wasn't following a script. He was the director. He was fucking making moves. Like, it was almost like he got to be that guy to like go off the cuff, because his off the cuff was what he was directing himself to do, if that makes sense. That was really cool to see, and I think he was great in it. And how about Jonathan Majors? Jonathan Majors in this movie is a major character. Yeah, I went there with it. He is dope. He's amazing. I've really liked what I've seen from Jonathan Majors. Seems like he's about to be in like everything coming out. He's doing all these fucking amazing roles. He's got range. We just seen him in Quantumania, the fucking Ant-Man movie, and now he's got this like on the doorstep of that when that just dropped, and he's coming out with this shit, and he's coming out fucking swinging, guys. He's everything that you'd hoped he'd be, I think. I didn't know how this would go because we just came off of Creed 2, where we had the whole storyline of Drago. Now it's Drago's son. Like, what can top that? That feels like the one you save for last, Like, how can you do that? Well, I think the best thing they could do is do something like this. Take something from that's personal, because what makes the Rocky movies, Creed movies, however you want to call them, so great is the emotional punch of it all. It's not about the fight in the ring. It's almost the fight outside of the ring that leads and builds you up to the fight in the ring. It's the hype around the fight in the ring. It's what goes on outside of it. And by taking it back to like his roots, finding out his best friend that got taken away, it was able to elevate the fight. It was the emotions, the heightened emotions. And it was kind of crazy how they did it, because I thought it was going to be cocky Jonathan Majors. I won't go too much into it out the gates, but that's not necessarily how they did it. They kind of guided you into that. It's like, are they best friends? Are they not? What's happening here? Got pretty interesting in that regard. Um, the story, as I said, the directing, not just from Michael B. directing himself. I thought Michael B. Jordan did a great job as the director overall. I will say the aesthetic kind of on the fight scenes at first did not necessarily work for me. Not like, the sparring fights, but like the big fights in the movie that are in front of, like Madison Square Garden type arenas. A lot of this is like in LA and shit. So, but you know what I'm trying to get at here, like a huge arena type of fight scene. This one, it felt kind of video game-ish. Like I get what he was trying to do. Like it was a style type of thing, just a certain vibe style he was going for, switching it up. But it almost felt video game-ish, which in a weird way, especially in that first fight he has in the movie, I won't reveal who it's with, it felt very like, not just video game-ish, but like it also kind of took away from the gritty, raw feel. Like it still has those, especially when you see it in the theater, has those ducks, the little fucking duck cover. Then when the punch lands, it's like, oh, like it's still got that crack, that power in it within the fight. But something about like the video game-ish aesthetic I was kind of getting from the fight scenes, especially the first one, it did kind of subtract from that raw and gritty power. But as it went on, the fight scenes kind of drifted a little bit away from that. It kept a little bit of that aesthetic, but overall, it did not take me out of it as much as the first one did. That's a minor nitpick, because even the first fight was still like, it's Creed. It's good. It was well choreographed, well done. Fights in general, I think, are well choreographed. There's nothing mind-blowing here, but it's the same, just because we've seen it before. Like the way they've choreographed these fights in previous movies, they've continued with that same just technical aspect of it. Like Michael B. now behind the director's chair, nothing changed with that. That was all good. And then there is more emotion in this movie. There is a very sad moment in this movie that, it got some people in the theater tearing up. I won't reveal exactly what that is, but it definitely got to me. I think the relationship between him and Tessa Thompson's character, like maybe stronger than any of the movies. And now we get to see him with his daughter, which, being a dad myself with a daughter, like that hit me in the feels a few times, watching him just living life. It doesn't have to, like, if you're a dad, like sometimes you can just relate to like the smallest things like that, oh, it's relatable. I feel something, right? That simple. Very well done with that. And the weight, I can't say enough about it. The weight of the movie really gets carried and guided along well. I will say the last fight of this movie, for all the marbles, there was a unique decision made within the fight. I won't reveal what that is, but it's a type of direction it went, I guess you could say. It also kind of has to do, I guess, with the visual aesthetic. But they make a choice to really switch up things that they have not done. Not quite like Tommy Gunn and Rocky V where they're fighting in the parking lot. Everything's in the ring. You ain't got to worry about that. But there's something they do within the fight that's in the ring that I think, I don't know, like I really enjoyed it, but I felt as I was watching it, I could see other people just like, it could split audiences. Like some people are like, okay, this is cool. I really enjoy how they're doing this. Whereas I think a lot of other people could be like, but why though? Like it's already such a good fight doing what you're doing. You're taking me out of the fight a little bit with this. Kind of, depends on the person. I think that's going to split people. But overall, I loved it. And overall, this movie in general, like I loved it. I was surprised at how much I loved it. I expected to like it, like I said, but damn. Guys, this is a banger of a movie that's honestly like middle of the pack in the franchise, which sounds like, oh, it doesn't sound like a banger if it's middle of the pack. But again, this is like my favorite franchise. The fact that it could be like, like dead center in my ranking as I'm thinking about it right now. And again, this is a knee-jerk reaction, but I think it would be around dead center, dude. I would give Creed 3 and 8.5, 8.6, 8.7, 8.8, 8.9. I keep raising it. Now, I'll settle on an 8.6, but just over 8.5. Yeah. It's worth it. It's worth it. You got to see it. It's definitely worth your time. Really surprised me. Can't say that enough. Performances, all good. Cinematography, fight choreography, the emotions, everything's there. Storyline, well driven. Soundtrack. Some of the rap songs, like, I'm not a big Sean fan. He has a song in there. He's got a couple tracks, but like usually when I hear Big Sean, I'm like, ugh. Just me, personal opinion. Some of it, But overall, it fit the vibe of the film. The music, everything's there. Just more of like the score of the film with just like the intense music when the fights are picking up. All well placed. Training montage. Started off, I was like, this is good, but it's not pulling me in like a fucking Rocky training montage does. But guess what, people? Flip that switch. Then I was really, really fucking into it. I mean, everything. Everything landed, man. Everything landed. You got to see Creed 3. I was gonna do spoilers, but I'm gonna keep it spoiler free. Save as much that like go into it blind. Let's just say that. There's nothing major spoiler here, like the where like I'd even have to say too many. But I still think it's a movie that's best just seen with no expectations. That way you can be blown away by it, like I am. If you're the type of person that's been in the same boat as me with these Creed movies and worried about stepping away from Stallone and having Michael B. Jordan at the helm, not even only as just an actor but also a director, just going blind, people. Spoiler free on this one. Love you guys. Peace.